flash, bright like a roaring fight. Crypto dreams under stadium lights. Sweat and fire, hearts ignite. Even sports buffet, with the Ginch replay. Highlights, wild scores collide. It's the ride live tonight. Plays drawn, bold on the chalkboard slate. Rivals clash, it's a heavyweight fate. Every second
Legally Ho, good neighbors.
Even sports buffet.
Ginch time. Yes, your host here on the, hey, what's happening? Here on the Colt County Entertainment Network. Did you enjoy your holiday weekend? Well, some people had to work. I did not. Welcome. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. Mike. Guess what day it is? Did your favorite team win this weekend? Did they lose? I know Cleveland Cavaliers fans are not happy. Let me jump to some news and headlines from the day in sports. Green Bay Packers running back Josh Jacobs, he was released from jail. Investigation ongoing, reported by Rob Demovsky. Espen. He is looking at several domestic violence charges pending further investigation. He was booked yesterday by the Hobart Lawrence, Wisconsin Police Department on charges of battery, domestic abuse, criminal damage to property, domestic abuse, disorderly conduct, domestic abuse, strangulation and suffocation, and intimidation of a victim. We will have to keep an eye on this because that's not good. Hoping it's not true, but I will reserve judgment. The strangulation and suffocation charge is a felony. The other 4 charges are misdemeanors. Doesn't matter. Anytime you're talking about stuff like this, it's not good. I hope whatever potential issues he may have, possible issues he may have, he gets help for them. I'm hoping none of this is true, but if it is, the man needs help. And I would hope that he gets the help that he needs. Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, supposedly their relationship is good. Jalen Hurts says. Jalen Hurts today, reported by Tim McManus. For us, we're only focused on learning the offense. It really doesn't change in terms of our approach to improve. There's an if, obviously, it's been a lingering thing, but nothing can replace all the greatness that we achieved together. Sounds to me like Jalen doesn't think that AJ Brown is going to be there. Where AJ Brown gets traded, I don't know. I've heard Buffalo. I've heard New England. I've heard Kansas City. I don't know. College football news. I've been saying this for years. Kirby Smart hints at SEC secession from the NCAA if there is no expansion. I've said this for the last 3, 4, 5 years that Greg Sankey, who got all this started in motion when he brought Oklahoma and Texas into the SEC, that I thought that the Big Ten and SEC would eventually break away from the NCAA, start their own thing, which I think that would just be horrendous. But again, it's not college athletics anymore. It's semi-pro. Kirby Smart said, and this is reported by Espen, I've said this for a long time to our president. I've been a huge advocate that if we can't find rules that everybody plays by, then we should play our own. I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid to break away and say that our conference is strong enough to go out and play. Smart's president, Mr. Joe Moorhead, told On Three last week that if federal legislation isn't enacted to curb what he's called anarchy in the sport, he's prepared to be ready to vote on creating an SEC mechanism and SEC rules. That's what we have to do. I don't know what the answer is. Again, I know that the SEC and the Big Ten are pushing for a 2014 playoff. Why not? Because what are you going to do? Put like 18 teams from the SEC in there? No. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think 16 teams would be perfect. But here's the thing. There's no automatic bids. Get rid of the conference championship games. You have a 16 team playoff. Nobody gets a bye week. The first and second rounds are at the higher seeds home field. When you get to the final four, you can use, I don't know, let's say to start off the Rose Bowl and the Orange Bowl, or you can use the Orange Bowl and the Cotton Bowl, and then your national championship take place in the Rose Bowl, and then you rotate the big bowls: Sugar, Orange, Cotton, Fiesta. Mike Vrabel came out today and he says that he has no regrets from stepping away during the draft put up by Mike Reese, who covers the Patriots for the ESPNs. Vrabel was asked if he might be away from the team in the future. He said, "I can't tell you anything other than I'm going to be out there today in full force. So I'm going to focus on today and the excitement that we've had and that we built so far." We'll see what transpires with the whole Vrabel Rossini love connection. Remember that with Chuck Lorre back in the 80s and 90s? Tiger Woods has not entered the Open Championship over there in England, United Kingdom. Plans not to play any majors in 2026. Why would he? Whoops. Sorry about that. Alabama's AD has said repeatedly that changing coaches is ludicrous. What if I had a dinner cheese pan? Athletic director Greg Burns said that the expectations at Alabama are high. That's what you sign up for when you come to Alabama. That hasn't changed. What I also believe, though, is the idea of changing your coach every 2 to 3 years is absolutely ludicrous. And when you have a coach that you believe in, like we believe in Coach DeBoer, you want to have stability in that, and you will have a lot of really good times, and you'll also have challenging times. Everybody's going to face that as our world has changed, and so our extension with Coach DeBoer showed our commitment and belief in him, and that we really value stability at Alabama. And that's been the case with Coach Saban, obviously forever, and we want that stability to continue with Coach DeBoer. I'll tell you what, when fans see what Kurt Zignetti has done at Indiana in just 2 years, they don't want to hear stuff like that. Because Alabama, Florida, some of these other programs. Why can't we find a Kurt Signetti? Let's go to the NBA, shall we? The Knicks swept the Cavaliers 4-0. The Cavaliers did not recover from that game one collapse. And it was evident, you could see it. And I don't want to say they quit in game number 4, but it was evident that they did. They did. Don't know what to say. So the Knicks are in the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999. The Oklahoma City Thunder beat the San Antonio Spurs yesterday, take a 3-2 lead. Now it goes back to San Antonio. I fully expect the Spurs to win that one to send it back to OKC, which I'm sure OKC will win Game 7. NHL, the Golden Knights swept the Colorado Avalanche. Colorado Avalanche were heavily favored to win the Stanley Cup this year. Some injuries. They just didn't look like the Avalanche. The Vegas Golden Knights took it to them. So they will await the winner of the Hurricanes Canadiens series. Hurricanes lead that series 2-1 tonight. I would like to take the Canadiens tonight just because I think that they may tie it up. But if the Hurricanes play their game and don't play into what Montreal does, I'm going to take the Hurricanes tonight to go up 3-1. I think that, look, Canadians were going to be a tough out anyway. Nobody said it was going to be easy. I had Carolina and Colorado in the Stanley Cup final. Obviously, Colorado's not there, so I'm not backing off Carolina now. I think they win tonight, go 3-1. Major League Baseball. Go to the standings as I do every week here on the Cole County Entertainment Network, our leading sports buffet with the Ginch. I am Sid Ginch, your host, Ryan Neff. And as soon as the standings come up, I will go through them. American League East, the Tampa Bay Rays are still on top with a 34-18 record. The Yankees are second. They're 2.5 back. They are separating themselves here 2 months in. Blue Jays are third. They're 9 games back. The Orioles are fourth. They're 10.5 back. And the Red Sox are in last, 12.5 back. In the Central, the Cleveland Guardians up on top with a 33-25 record. And second, the White Sox. You heard that right. The White Sox are in second, 4 games back. The Twins are third, 4.5 back. Royals are fourth, 9.5 back. And Detroit struggling mightily. 1-9 their last 10. They're in last. They are 13 games below 500. Out there in the West, the Mariners now on top. The Athletics. Holy shit. They're in second. They're only a half game back. The Rangers are third, a game and a half back. Astros 4, 3.5 back, and the Angels are 6 back. National League East, Braves still on top, 37-18, best record in baseball. They're 8.5 up on the Phils, who are in second. Nationals are third, 9 back. The Marlins, fourth, 12 back, and the Mets, 15 back in last place. In the Central, best division in baseball right now. Brewers on top, 33-20. The Cardinals are second, along with the Reds. They're 4.5 back. And the Pirates and Cubs, both 5 back. Out there in the West, the Dodgers have separated themselves right now, 35-20. Diamondbacks and the Padres, both 4 back. Diamondbacks red hot 9-1, their last 10. The Giants are 4, 13.5 back, and the Rockies 15.5 back in last place. On the slate today, full slate. Earlier today, the Blue Jays beat the Marlins 2-1. The Guardians beat the Nationals 3-2. Brewers over the Cardinals 2-1. Mariners over the Athletics 9-1. Diamondbacks over the Giants 3-2. Phillies blanked the Padres 3-0. Ongoing right now, the Orioles up on the Rays 5-0. The end of the second. End of the second, the Tigers up on the Angels 2-0. Mid-second, Cubs over the Pirates 3-0. Bottom of the second, Red Sox Braves are scoreless. Top of the first, Reds Mets scoreless, obviously. Later on, Twins at the White Sox, Yankees at the Royals, Astros at the Rangers, and the Rockies are at the Dodgers. Let me go to soccer. Obviously, Arsenal won the Premier League. First time in 22 years. The final day was on Sunday. I'm going to go back over it. Man's United beat Brighton 3-0. Burnley and Wolverhampton 1-1. Wolverhampton relegated. I believe Burnley relegated. Arsenal beat Crystal Palace 2-1. Fulham over Newcastle 2-0. Liverpool over Brentford 1-1. Villa over Man City 2-1. Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth tied 1 apiece. Sunderland 2, Chelsea 1. Tottenham 1, Everton 0. Tottenham avoids relegation. And West Ham over Leeds 3-0. So where did that leave us after Sunday? Arsenal, Man City, Man United, and Villa each qualified for next year's Champions League. Liverpool left out. Relegated, West Ham, Burnley, and Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton has not been down to the Championship League in a while. Let me jump to the WNBA. On the schedule today, in the first right now, Liberty up on top of the Mercury, 16-13. The Tempo are at the Sky, the Dreamer at the Lynx, the Sun are at the Fire, the Mystics are at the Storm. Let me go to the standings. The Atlanta Dream on top 4-1. The Fever, the Aces, the Lynx, and the Valkyries are each 4-2. Half a game out. Wings and the Fire are 4-3, a game out. Chicago Sky and the Sparks are 3-3. They're a game and a half out. Tempo, Liberty, Storm 3-4, 2 games out. Phoenix 3 games out at 2-5, and the Connecticut Sun struggling 1-7 in last place. Let me jump to men's college baseball, semi-pro baseball. On the docket today, heavy. I know this is Friday, so we'll save that. I'll save this for Thursday. Let me jump over to the women semi-pro college softball. Tomorrow, these are all double elimination round games. Mississippi State takes on 11 Texas Tech. That is double elimination round College World Series. Number 7 Tennessee takes on number 2 Texas. Number 8 UCLA takes on number 1 Alabama, and number 5 Arkansas will take on Nebraska. Number 4 Nebraska. That's tomorrow. Golf from this past weekend. Let me pull it up here. The Byron Nelson Classic, or the CJ Cup Byron Nelson is what they call it now. Wyndham Clark wins with a 30 under par. A real tough golf course there. Siwoo Kim finished second. The LPGA they will kick it off again tomorrow. They were off this week. This week it is the ShopRite LPGA Classic powered by Wakefern over there in Galloway, New Jersey. Champions Tour. Oop. Give me just a second here. Champions Tour. They won't kick it back off for another couple of weeks. They were playing in Morocco. The trophy Hassan 2. Scott Hend wins that one. The LIV tournament. They'll be kicking it back off in Korea this coming weekend. The DP World Tour. As soon as that comes up here. I said the DP World Tour. They were in Belgium, Antwerp, Belgium, this past weekend at the Soudal Open. Richard Stern wins that 18 under par, and then the Corn Ferry Tour. They were at the Knoxville Open last week. Doc Redman, Hunter Eichhorn, in a playoff. Doc Redman wins on the third hole. It was NASCAR Cup Series race in Charlotte this weekend. Unfortunately, again, the passing of Kyle Busch. It came out that he had severe pneumonia that led to sepsis. Just unfortunate. It was actually kind of back and forth. I watched the whole thing. It had its lulls. Of course, there was rain shortened. Daniel Suarez wins that one. And of course, the Indy race, which was an absolutely fantastic race. And it was. If you missed the Indy 500, shame on you. Why is it not showing me? It's not showing me the results for some odd reason. I'm trying to bring it up. It's not bringing it up for some reason. I don't know why. Felix Rosenqvist, the Swede, wins in the closest Indianapolis 500 ever. Congrats to him. And I think I am going to end it there. Oh. Some more news in the world of college football. Supported by Dan Murphy, ESPN. Bipartisan college sports bill proposes a salary cap and a transfer limit. This is what we've been reduced to. And look, I'm all for it. If the spending is getting out of control, transfers are getting out of control. The Protect College Sports Act, written after months of negotiation between Republican Ted Cruz, of all people, and Democrat Maria Cantwell would provide the NCAA with an antitrust exemption to enforce several rules that have been challenged in court in recent years. Those rules would include limiting athletes to transferring schools only one time without penalty. Again, I'm all for it. Limiting athlete eligibility to a maximum of 5 years. I'm all for it. Prohibiting former professional athletes from playing in college. Absolutely. Prohibiting schools from poaching a coach from another school during their sports season. I am all for it. We will have to keep an eye on that, but I'm for it. Said this before, and I'll say it again. Transfer once. Then I'm all for it. You want to transfer again, then you get hit with a penalty. Maybe they hit you with, if you're going to transfer a second time, then we're going to subtract some of your NIL money. And there's your fine that you got to pay. I'm all for it. So I'm going to end it there. Tomorrow, I'm going to have to start. Look, we are almost rolling into June. So next week, I'm going to bring back student body right. I've got some guests lined up. Yes, we are right around the corner from college football and the NFL. It is, but I'm not trying to rush the summer on anybody. But for somebody like me, the old bastard that I am, I can't stand the heat anymore. Just not trying to rush it. Just, I love the fall. Somebody who can't take the heat anymore. Bring back student body right. The NFL 4-down territory. Bring that back next week as well. So I'm going to end it there. At the end of each show, as I always do, practice compassion, practice empathy, have passion for what you do. Hug somebody every once in a while. It might make their day. Tell somebody you love them. They might not get a second opportunity. And for God's sakes, if you see somebody struggling in whatever fashion, ask questions, inquire how you can get them help, how you might be able to help them. It might not just be saving a life. It might be saving a multitude of lives. So I will see everybody tomorrow, Cole County Entertainment Network, early evening sports buffet with the Ginch. I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 o'clock tomorrow. I don't know. Haven't decided. There's only one thing left for me to do. That's for Dandy Don Meredith to take me out. Have a great night, everybody. Enjoy the sports. Hey, here it is.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.